Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so the fight is officially over. We got the brawl between Yami, Jack, and Finral versus Langris officially done in the first half of this chapter. This was probably the most epic fight in all Black Clover history. I don't think any fight that we've ever had or ever will have will surpass this. I mean, we had Finral doing his best One Punch Man impression at the end of the chapter, to end, or in the beginning of the chapter to end the fight. How could you ever get past that? I mean, nothing Yami will ever do, nothing Asta will ever do, nothing anyone has ever done will surpass this moment in all Black Clover history. I am definitely not overhyping and being sarcastic about this fight. Okay, really though, I was just a little bit disappointed by the way this fight went. Not anything against Tabata Yuki, he did a good job, giving us this fight. We had like, what, 3 chapters now of this fight so far? And in the way it ended was pretty good, filled with the character, filled with the world. And the rest of the chapter was actually really good. It set up a lot of plot development. But I had built up in my own head so much of what was going to happen with this fight. Like, I thought, all right, pretty much every other elf so far has been defeated once, then gets back up, has even stronger magic, and then we get a second fight with them versus their opponents. So I figured, all right, Yami and Jack in the beginning of the chapter would knock Langris out. He'll get back up, take them out, and then it'll be him versus Finral. But instead, we just get Finral using spatial magic to knock Langris' attack back at him, and forcing Langris to get in close so Finral can actually just knock him out with one punch. Now, this does make sense with the character and with the world, because for one, Finral is not really a fighter. He's not really, someone who goes on the offensive. So basically, what he does is use his spatial magic to get other attacks in closer to his opponents, which is something he did. He used his attack, or used his magic, to get Langris' own attack back at him, which got Langris in close so he can actually knock him out with one punch. And that also fits with the world, because we know that royals and nobles, they don't train their own bodies. So Langris actually would be weak to being knocked out by one punch, since his body has not been built up to, withstand any type of pain or any type of, attack, physical attacks, that is. Now, I will admit, though, the beginning of the chapter actually did catch me off guard and actually did make me laugh and surprise me a little bit. Because, alright, we get Langris, he's being a little cocky. He thinks the fact that he's a little bit faster than Jack and Yami, so he'll be able to get his defenses up and counterattack before they can actually land an attack on him. But Jack actually gets the attack in first and actually does manage to land a hit on Langris, which I was surprised by because, alright, you knew Yami, once he landed his attack, he was going to use the back of his blade or he wasn't going to actually try to kill Langris. But Jack, I actually thought Jack was actually going to try to kill Langris. I did not think he'd hold back. But the fact that he did actually did surprise me. Then we get to see Patry again, and I gotta be honest, with the past like 10 or so chapters, I've kind of forgotten Patry was still around. I honestly forgot that he wasn't already defeated off panel by someone else. So, but yeah, it's nice to see him again. Although I was a little disappointed because we actually see Patry go back to the Midnight Sun's base, which is still floating over the capital, and we get to see the first people he interacts with is the elf versions of Gouch and Marie. Now I'm disappointed by this because I had gone with the theory that maybe Marie was actually going to be the reincarnation of Techia, and that she working with the humans would actually be the reason why Gouch actually takes control of his body back over from the elf. But instead, we're not going to be going with that. She actually is, I guess, the younger sister of the elf that's actually in control of Gouch, because we can see the two of them are actually really close. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to rely on or Asta to free Gouch from his control. Now, while the three of them are actually talking, we actually do see Raya show up, and he actually tells Patry about the fact that Lich, because of the fact that he's, I guess, in an artificial body, he doesn't exactly have full control of his body. He doesn't actually have all his memories yet. So he went back into a deep sleep in order to kind of fix that. I guess they don't really say the reason why he went to a deep sleep. They say that he went into a deep sleep again. Patry's a little bit upset because, he obviously idolized Lich and actually wanted to see him. But he gets over it pretty quickly. The two of them start talking shop, and basically, they realize that all the elves inside the capital or inside the castle were defeated, which I assume they were talking about the Emperor's castle. But if they were talking about all 3 castles that were put together, then does that mean that Kirsch and Mimosa were actually able to defeat their elves? Because I have a hard time believing that with Kirsch being their only offensive type mage in that fight, that they would be able to defeat all those elves in there. Which, by the way, after reading the chapter the first time, I wanted to see a whole bunch of other characters. But now, after I'm thinking about it, and now that I'm thinking about the fact that, Kirsch, Mimosa, and Anne are actually still in danger with their elves, fuck it. I just want to go back to that. I want to see what's going on with Mimosa. One of my favorite characters in the entire series. I want to see exactly what she's going to do in this fight. Because I don't think we actually ever seen Mimosa actually get physical yet. We haven't actually seen her fight. We've just basically seen her be defensive and heal. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what type of attack spells Mimosa might actually have at her disposal. Now, while the two of them are actually talking shop, we end up finding out that they think that the Emperor is actually dead. I guess because they can't feel his magical presence inside the castle. So they think they can actually go forward with the next part of their plan, which is actually to find a magical stone, the final magical stone, which is actually inside the castle. Now, it's kind of weird because actually, I initially thought that they had actually found all the magic stones they needed for the reincarnation magic, but apparently they actually still needed this last one, which once they find this last one, they can actually release the curse that's put on them. Because apparently, with their reincarnation magic, they actually get put a, even though they're kind of like fully reincarnated at this point, even though they can actually still lose control of the bodies from the humans, if the humans fight hard enough, we do find out that apparently when they actually use that forbidden magic, a curse is kind of put on them, or like kind of some kind of like spell or something that's put on them that actually gives them like that demonic aura that we've actually been seeing all the other elves have. You know that moment when the elves actually get crazy, more powerful, and actually go kind of suicidal with their attacks and actually try to take out people by blowing themselves up? Apparently, that's a side effect from the reincarnation magic, and once they actually get the final stone, they'll be able to get past that. Now, here's the really interesting part of the chapter, because when they're talking about finding the magic stone, they think the magic stone is actually inside the castle, inside like some kind of pedestal. But what we actually see in the panel when they're talking about getting the magic stone, we see that that magic stone is actually on a necklace on someone's body. Now, we don't actually get to see the face of the person who actually has the magic stone, but you can definitely tell by the way the person's drawn that it's going to be Yuno, which means that the magic stone is not actually inside the castle. It's actually on the way to the capital. Which, by the way, where the fuck has Yuno been this entire time? This chapter actually reminded me of the fact that Yuno is actually on his way to the capital. Which, how the fuck is it taking him this long to get here? I mean, after him and Asta split up at Hajj Village, it was literally a straight shot for him to go to the capital. I mean, we've seen Asta make it to the capital before Yuno did, and Asta had to make a whole detour, actually 2 detours, to go help out Magna and Vanessa when they were fighting against Luck, and then to go back to the actual Black Bulls headquarters. So they had to make a whole bunch of detours in order to get to the capital. And yet they still made it there before Yuno. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, yeah, apparently Yuno is actually the one with the final magic stone. Which, when I thought about that, it didn't make a lot of sense, the fact that they don't know that Yuno has it. Because Raya was face to face with Yuno. He actually met up with Yuno, and we know that Yuno always carries that magic stone with him. So there's no reason why he shouldn't have been able to tell that Yuno has the magic stone. I mean, I assume that the magical stones have some kind of like magical aura or some kind of presence that they give off. So I would think, especially with the elves, with how attuned they are to mana, that Raya would be able to sense the magic stone on Yuno. I mean, I guess maybe the magical stones don't actually give off any type of mana presence. But if that's the case, then how did they find out that the magic stone, or how did they come to the conclusion the magic stone is actually inside the castle? Because if it doesn't give off any presence, that means they had to do some kind of investigation in order to figure out where the magical stone is. But if they're investigating it, then they should not think the magical stone's inside that pedestal inside the castle. Because Yuno's had that stone for 15 years now, ever since he was born, when he was found in Hage Village left with Asta. So there should be no reason why they should think in the past 15 years that the magical stone was there, unless there's a fake one there. Which most likely there is. There probably is actually a fake stone there that the Emperor's been kind of like hiding off this entire time. And you know what? If that's actually the case, then I guess that would kind of confirm the theory that people have been having for a while now, that Yuno's actually the Emperor's son. Which would be kind of crazy to find out that he's both the Emperor's son and the reincarnation of Lich's son. That'd be kind of cool to find out. But yeah, that's it for the chapter. That's it for the review. I can't wait to see what happens next. I hope we either get to see Mimosa or we get to see Yuno in the next chapter. But that's pretty much it for the chapter. That's it for the review. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I actually did forget to mention that Yami and Jack are actually going to go fight against the elves by themselves while they're waiting for the rest of the Black Bulls and everyone else to catch up to them. It's going to be a bloodbath. I can't wait to see that as well. But that's it for the review. That's it for the chapter. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts and theories. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.